So my entire life, I have always split where I have called home between Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and a small town called Damascotta, Maine, where we have a second home, my family and I. And when I was in maybe 5th grade, we went on a vacation trip up there during the summertime with myself, my friend, her mother, my mother, and her other 2 children. And so there was a lot of kids, and we went to Maine. We got there great. It's an 8.5-hour drive, kayaking, swimming, making s'mores, and it's a beautiful experience. And then we take the trip back home. And in a typical fashion with multiple children on a road trip, you say you're going to leave at 6, and then you end up, packing the car, and then it's 7, and then it's 8, and then it's 9. And then on our way, heading back, there's, of course, multiple stores that we didn't go to when we were on vacation. So we have to stop at multiple locations, and one of them is LL Bean, the mothership of camping gear. And as we're approaching the mothership, I'm walking up the stone steps, and I trip, and I gash my knee on the stone steps, and all the LL Bean people come rushing out to help me, and my leg is bleeding, and they're saying, keep it straight, and they're bandaging it up. And my mom's a doctor, so she's like, she's fine. She's seen terrible cases, so she's like, this girl is totally fine. So we skip the LL Bean excursion, we hop back in the car, and then we decide to go to Friendly's to get some lunch, and at this point we're already pretty delayed, it's probably like noon. And Pierce, the youngest, the boy who's 5, orders some ice cream for dessert, and as he's eating the ice cream, he's eating the little eyeballs on the ice cream that make the face, and he starts choking and gagging, and he has a lethal peanut allergy. So we end up taking poor Pierce into the car. We end up jabbing him very aggressively with the expired EpiPen, which is the only EpiPen we have available. Then we call the pharmacist to phone in a non-expired EpiPen, but there isn't one, so we just continue with the expired EpiPen and hope we make it home okay. At this point, we're very delayed in the trip. We're on the trip, and Pierce is up front, and we're watching our little movies on the little flip-down screens in the cars, and we all have these headphones in, and suddenly Pierce starts projectile vomiting all over the interior of the car. So we pull over on the side of the road. The sun has set at this point. So we started at 6 a.m. We stop at a gas station with some very lovely interior decor that I've never seen ever before, very meticulous flowered wallpapers, and we get tons of air fresheners. We each pick out our own. So they all smell terrible together. We pile all the vomity clothes into trash bags in the back. And poor Waverly, my friend's sister's in the back. And we have the air fresheners dangling. We bought some candy cigarettes to chew on in the car. Some cars are passing us, giving us weird looks with a bunch of children eating candy cigarettes with air fresheners. And as we're driving, my mom starts coughing and choking, and something in the air freshener material is giving her respiratory issues. So we chuck the air fresheners out of the car. We pull over onto the side of the road. Waverly's saying how terrible it smells in the back seat because she's back with all the vomit bags. And then my mom is heaving and coughing on the side of the road. So when luckily my mother recovers, we get back in the car, and finally we make it home at 3 a.m. So it was certainly the most horrific car ride I've ever been on. It was certainly a bonding experience, and we were extremely happy to be home.